Hey everybody, welcome to Whiskey Central. My name is Shayla, and today we're doing a review of the world's best-selling single malt, Glenfiddich 12. Scotland. So I have a super short history for you today, but if you want to skip to the nosing, you can go to the timestamp in the description box below. And if you like whiskey reviews, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos. So in 1866, William Grant and his family began building their distillery by hand. William named the distillery Glenfiddich, which is Gaelic for Valley of the Deer. So Glenfiddich buys most of their malt from Balvenie, which is also owned by William Grant and Sons. They're one of the only distilleries in Scotland to have on-site bottling. They've had their own coppersmith since 1957, and their own cooperage since 1959. So Glenfiddich uses water from the Robbie Deuce Springs, and it's the only distillery in the world that produces all of its whiskey from a single source of fresh water. So pretty much every older distillery was affected by Prohibition in some way. So when Prohibition happened, Glenfiddich took a bet, and they actually started producing more whiskey as other distilleries were shutting down.
That's it. Oh.
And after Prohibition ended, they had a lot of aged whiskey to send to America. So Glenfiddich has made many old whiskeys, one of the most special being the Janet Sheed Roberts Reserve. Only 11 bottles were made of this 55-year-old spirit to celebrate the 110th birthday of Scotland's oldest woman. She also happened to be the last remaining grandchild of William Grant. Alright, so let's get into the details of this whiskey. This whiskey will cost you about $40, and it's one of the only remaining family-run distilleries in Scotland, now on its 5th generation. It's located in the Speyside region of Scotland, it's 12 years old, and it's 40% ABV or 80 proof. So this is aged in Oloroso sherry and ex-bourbon casks, and it's a single malt, which means it's 100% malted barley, and it comes from a single distillery. So this whiskey is colored and chill filtered. And after 12 years of aging, the sherry and ex-bourbon casks are put together in an oak marrying tun for 9 months before bottling. Alright, well, I'm going to pour a dram of this, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've let this sit for about 10 minutes. Let's go in for a nose. So the first thing I get on the palate is like a sherry note. And then I get apple and a lot of like fresh honey. Also pear. Yeah, actually maybe more pear than apple. And it also smells like creme brulee almost, like a vanilla custard. Yeah, and there's a sweet caramel in there. And maybe just like light baking spices. It doesn't feel like overly, cinnamon or anything like that, but just like a little bit. Alright, let's go in for a taste. Cheers, guys. Oh, it doesn't taste as sweet on the palate as I thought it would with the nose. You get that apple kind of pear thing going on. Maybe a little bit of vanilla too. Yeah. And then I get kind of some oak spice. But then it's kind of going into like a creamy malty kind of thing. And I would say the finish is probably like a medium finish, but then it's a little bit, it's a little bit dry on the back end. I don't know if that's the sherry or what. It's a little bit dry, but I'm gonna finish this dram up and I'll be right back with my recommendation. So I think this is such a high quality and consistent whiskey for the price. It's very easy drinking and it's not super complex, but I think it's a great introduction to Scotch. And if you already like Glenfiddich 12, you'll probably like their 15, 18, and 21-year-old expressions. And if you want to branch out from Glenfiddich, you could try something like the Balvenie Doublewood, Avalor, or Glendronach. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Whiskey Central. Next week, I'm going to be doing a review of Bulleit Bourbon, so if you don't want to miss out, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Welcome back to Whiskey Central. My name is Shayla, and today we're reviewing Glenfiddich 12. Welcome back to Whiskey Central. He's Dan, I'm Sean, I'm Shayla. Killing the game with this shit. I'm sick, guys, so sorry if I sound like shit. Glenfiddich bitch, Glenfiddich bitch, Glenfiddich bitch, Glenfiddich bitch, Glenfiddich bitch, Glenfiddich bitch. 12. American real quick, just see if we can get a better cork pop. Oh yeah, that one was a little better.